Hello guys and welcome back to another skill point guide video for Total War Warhammer 3 on Immortal Empires. Today we'll be going over Louen Leoncoeur, and this video is a little bit different because I think this is the first video anyway where we're actually going to focus on a Lord's melee line first. So we're just going to kind of jump right on in and explain kind of what's going on. Now I do like to start with Root Marcher as always, but other than that his blue line is pretty shit. There's nothing that he gets that is, you know, a global bonus for him or unique to him, and so really, like, after grabbing Root Marcher, I just like making him as strong as possible. Now at rank 6 you will get the passive ability, the Ladies Champion, which I highly recommend getting, so you definitely want to pick up that. The passive ability of the Beloved Son of Bretonnia happens on rank 12, so I definitely recommend grabbing that. And then I believe rank 15 is the cooldown to his ability Lion Shield, which gives him missile resistance and spell resistance, so I highly recommend getting that. But other than that, going down his melee line, I just get everything. He's a very powerful melee combatant. He starts with magical attack, which is really handy, and as you can see, once he does get on Beak Week, his stats here are already turning into something outrageous. Which, once you start fighting other legendary lords as well, you may get some other resistances, you know, other bonuses as well to his stats, other items, you know, some talismans of preservation, you know, things like that. But these are pretty insane stats. Once you start leveling him up there, that'll just make him a little extra tankier. And but after that, after going down his melee line, I do like to go down his special skill line here, as well as get, you know, obviously grabbing these extra ones here. But the Fount of Honor is just, you know, to unlock the rest of them. But the Diplomatic Relations plus 10 with all factions, I don't mind grabbing that. Warhammer 3 is definitely a much better game in terms of a diplomatic game compared to Warhammer 2. And really, I do like the fact, especially once you get the allied, you know, recruitment building in a allied province, getting some extra units for him is definitely not a bad thing, and that'll just help speed up that process a little bit there, because it does help, depending on the situation, to have a few allies in your corner as well, maybe to prevent some wars, but also just to be able to tell them to attack someone as well. So I do like to grab that. Clarion Calls and Exemplary Conduct I like to grab. Extra chivalry per turn, why not? But mainly for the hero capacity, +1 for paladins, I like that. And then there's the construction cost for barracks buildings by 15%, and for a reduction, and then also the construction time -1 for all barracks buildings. Now, I believe that does affect it globally, even though it doesn't say faction-wide or global. I believe that's sort of implied there. I haven't had any issues with it not working for me in the past. So I guess it could potentially bug out, but I do like to grab that there because, again, it hasn't happened. It has not happened for me in the past, I should say. Anyway, after going down his special skill line and his melee line, though, really then I like to go down his red line here a little bit because he does buff some pretty good. Buffs his army most than anything when fighting warriors of chaos, demons, you know, undead, that kind of stuff, greenskins, which, if you haven't played as Louen before, you will, most of your campaign, until you get things sorted out down here, is just going to be repelling invasions. Now, unfortunately, you know, frozen climate, chaos waste climate, all that stuff up here to the north is going to be unfriendly for you, but you will always have the lovely opportunity to constantly be repelling invasions from Leoncoeur, from other Norscan tribes, whether it's vassals, Wolfric, Throg, Dark Elves eventually as well will start hating you. And so you constantly will be fighting them, keeping them at bay. So having that little extra melee attack and leadership when fighting them will always come in handy. There. So because of that, I do like to buff his cavalry. I mean, playing Bretonnia, you should rely on their cavalry. It's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck, in my opinion. So I like to do Glor and Fennel's progeny, just for some extra charge bonus and weapon strength, and then the Guardians of the Lady going with some charge bonus and speed for your Hippogriff and Pegasus Knights once you get down into the later stages there. And then just finishing it off, just getting down to Stand Your Ground, getting the Chivalric Code and the Protectors of the Realm and Stand Your Ground. I do like to grab both just because, you know, in the early parts of the early to middle parts, when you end up still having some Knights Errant possibly, but mostly questing Knights and the Knights of the Realm, you'll have those early, much sooner than you will, obviously, the Pegasus Knights or Hippogriff Knights there. And then grabbing the Stand Your Ground is just to grab that extra leadership, extra melee defense, just to help him, Louen himself and other units around him perform a little bit better there on the battlefield for you. Now after that, I do like to come back up here. I know we're going through it pretty steadily, but it's kind of a weird one because we haven't. Usually, I like to go down the blue line, but Louen, he doesn't really benefit from it too much. I do like to grab the Crown of Bretonnia for the extra leadership. Again, make them harder to break. Casualty replenishment for Knights units. You're gonna have loads of Knights throughout the entire length of your campaign, so you know extra replenishment for them will be really handy. And then the Lionhearted will be nice just to reduce the cooldown of Rally and then eventually Stand Your Ground. So you're constantly casting or using that ability, and then basic training will just help your units fight better for longer. Lady's Mantle for some extra missile resistance, and Mentor. I do like to grab Mentor with him just to share some experience that he, you know, would otherwise be wasted there. And then the last 3 points, I do go down the blue line a little bit and just do the Justicar, or however you pronounce it, just for some extra control in case you do start settling some provinces up here in the north in Norska, just to help offset that -3 control in the region that he's in just for a limited time. Because it can, from personal experience, I definitely understand the whole, you know, it's super annoying just to basically play Border Patrol with Louen's campaign. It's one of the reasons I don't play his campaign often, even in my spare time, because I hate the fact that, you know, other than defeating, you know, Leoncoeur or whoever starts invading you constantly over and over and over again, like, you don't benefit anything from, or like gain anything from it or benefit from it, other than the fact that, you know, you're not losing your starting province here in Couronne. You're just keeping them at bay, but you don't benefit from actually getting rid of them, because as you can see here, your construction costs, your construction time, recruitment time, your income from all buildings is severely impacted in a very negative way. So there's really no benefit to actually occupying them, and you don't want to go up here, fight a nasty fight, and raise a settlement either, and then not replenish because of that as well. But anyway, that is how I level up Louen, Leoncoeur. Let me know again down in the comments how you guys go about leveling him up. If you end up going down his blue line, you know, definitely let me know. You know what your thoughts are on there, but I really feel like going down his melee line and his special skill line first is kind of the way to go, just because again he doesn't really have anything unique down his red line or blue line. The red line is just to make, you know, he's never going to be like a one-man doom stack in my opinion, and so why not buff some of your units that you're more likely than not going to be using the entire length of your campaign. Now, if he had some other bonuses down here, even getting irrepressible spirit for the replenishment rate for him, I don't bother getting that because you have life magic, so you'll be able to heal him via magic. You may even get lucky, get a potion of healing or a potion of toughness. So there's really just no incentive to go down his blue line there. But anyway, again, let me know down in the comments how you guys go about leveling him up, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. And until the next video, hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you later. Bye.